Ever feel like you're doing everything right, working hard, staying busy, yet wealth still feels far away? And happiness feels like it keeps getting postponed until that saying, after the next milestone. The Almanack of Naval Ravikant is basically a cheat code for two things most people chase their whole lives: how to build wealth without needing luck, and how to build happiness without needing a perfect life. And stay to the end, because there's one principle in this book that sounds almost too simple, but it quietly determines who gets rich and who stays stuck. Leverage. This book, compiled by Jorgenson, is a collection of Naval Ravikant's best ideas from tweets, interviews, and talks, organized into one practical playbook. Here's the big idea in one sentence. You can get wealthy by creating value at scale using specific knowledge and leverage. And you can get happier by training your mind, not your circumstances. Now, let's start with the difference most people miss. Money is just how we transfer value. Wealth is the thing that creates value while you're not there. If you stop working and your income stops too, you don't have wealth, you have a job. A good job, maybe, but still a trade of time for money. Wealth is ownership. It's equity in a business, a product, a system, a piece of code, a media library, a brand, something that can keep producing outcomes without requiring your constant presence. So, the goal isn't just to make more money. The goal is to build or buy assets that earn while you sleep. Here's a simple check. What do you own right now that earns money without you actively working? If the answer is nothing, that's not an insult. It's a starting point, because your real job becomes creating ownership. Now the next question is, ownership of what? Naval's answer is specific knowledge. Specific knowledge is the kind of skill you can't be easily trained for. It usually comes from obsession, curiosity, and time. It's often tied to your personality. It can be weird, it can be niche, and it's usually the thing you do that feels like play to you, but looks like work to other people. This is why Naval says you should escape competition by being yourself. Because if you're copying someone else's path, you're competing with everyone else copying it too. Competition is a brutal tax, but if you lean into what's uniquely you, your taste, your story, your weird combinations of interests, you stop being one of many and you become the only one. So, here's an exercise. List 10 things you do that energize you, that you do even if no one clapped for it. Things you naturally obsess over, then circle the top 3. That's your specific knowledge inventory. But specific knowledge alone isn't enough, because without scale, your upside is still capped. That's where leverage comes in. Leverage is the multiplier. It's the reason one person can produce results that look impossible compared to another person working just as hard. Naval talks about 4 kinds of leverage: labor, capital, code, and media. Labor is people. Capital is money. Those are traditional forms of leverage. But in the modern world, the most powerful leverage is code and media, because they scale with almost zero marginal cost. Code can work while you sleep. Media can spread while you sleep. A single piece of software can serve millions. A single video can reach millions. And once it exists, it keeps working without asking for permission or a schedule. This is why Naval's approach to wealth isn't work harder. It's build something once that can pay repeatedly. So, pick one leverage lane for the next season of your life: code, media, capital, or people. Then ask, what could I build one time that people would keep using, buying, or benefiting from? Now, here's where a lot of people go wrong. They use leverage, but only for someone else. They build other people's companies, other people's brands, other people's platforms, and never convert their skill into ownership. So, the real move is, apply your specific knowledge using leverage and aim for ownership on the other side. That's the wealth engine. But Naval also says there's another engine that matters just as much, because without it, you can win and still feel miserable. That engine is happiness. Naval's view is that happiness isn't a trophy you earn, it's a skill you build. A lot of suffering comes from uncontrolled desire, from constantly wanting the next thing, from comparing yourself to other people, from replaying the past or worrying about the future. And if your mind is trained to always want more, you can achieve everything you thought you wanted and still feel poor inside. So, instead of treating happiness like a reward for success, Naval treats it like a practice. One of the simplest ways to practice is this: sit still for 2 minutes. And notice the urge to distract yourself. Notice the impulse to check something, do something, fix something. And instead of obeying it, just watch it pass. That tiny rep trains your nervous system. It teaches your mind that you don't have to chase every thought, every craving, every emotion. Over time, that creates calm. And calm is the foundation of happiness. Now tie it all together. Naval system is basically this. Find what you uniquely do best, your specific knowledge. Apply leverage to it, especially code or media. Get ownership, so the upside compounds. Play long-term games with long-term people. So trust and reputation compound too. And train your mind, so you can actually enjoy the life you're building. So, here's the one question I want to leave you with. If you had to choose just one lever, code, media, capital, or people, what's the one thing you could build once that could pay you for years? Drop your answer, and I'll read a few and help you sharpen them into something more actionable. And if you want more summaries like this, practical ideas you can actually use. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.